This is the last little bit of section 1.3 in Caesar's De Bello Gallico, and if you're in the Mueller text, it's lines 19 through 24. We have to go back to probat here from the previous section to understand the infinitives here as indirect statements. So he approves, or he demonstrates that there is no doubt, non esse dubium quin, that the Helvetians, plurumum possent here is an idiom, that they are the most powerful of all of Gaul. So here's your indirect statement after probat, and then quin, meaning here that after the negative known, begins the subordinate clause, and that's why this verb is subjunctive. So possum we are used to meaning to be able, and Caesar is using it here as in the context of its very Indo-European root, which means basically to have power, to be powerful. And plurumum here means so not just to be powerful, but to be powerful by very much. So he confirms, or he demonstrates or approves that the Helvetii, the Helvetians, are the most powerful, and here are your genitives, of all Gaul. Here we have another head verb, he confirms, right? So he declares that he, by his own troops and his own army, conciliatorum, and then we're missing an essay here is implied. So he declares that he will win over the kingdom, but really maybe the power, the authority for those men. And those men were going back to Casticus and Dumnorix, the two chieftains Caesar has just said that Orgetorix is persuading to do this with. So he declares that he will win over the regna, the power, the authority for them, with his own troops and his own army, or with his own supplies, really resources in his own army. So led by this speech, amongst themselves, they give their trust and their usurandum, their oath, essentially. And with power seized, so here again, regnum probably the more abstract of the descriptions or of the translations. With power seized through these very powerful and very strong three peoples, they hope that they could, and here's your subject of the infinitive, they hope that they could potiri, obtain or get, obtain all of Gaul. The only other thing I'll say here about the grammar is that potior is one of those verbs, the puff v verbs, and usually we hear that it takes the ablative. Caesar here is using the genitive after it, which is also a possibility, rare though it might be.